everybody. I'm Tim Donnelly, voice of the Charlotte Rush. It's our midweek report on this Wednesday, January the 17th. We're in the coach's office of the Charlotte Rush. Here at the home of the Charlotte Rush, the Extreme Ice Center, we're going to update you on what's been happening with Charlotte Rush hockey. And to do that, let's bring in the head coach of the Charlotte Rush Elite, Trevor Jewell. And Trevor, first of all, a couple of weeks ago, you guys were in Boston for the Boston Showcase. How was the travel up there, and how cold was it up there?
Travel wasn't too bad. I think we had a little bit of a bus issue on the way up there, and I think we ended up spending something like 22 hours on the bus. But we stopped in New Jersey, wandered around the mall for what seemed like an eternity. But yeah, I mean, and then it wasn't that cold, so I'm pretty happy about that. Good. But we saw some snow on the way back, apparently. But yeah, I mean, it was a good trip. Boys performed pretty well for the most part, and came out of there, on the elite side with 2-2 record, which one was in overtime, but there was a good mounted comeback to bring it to overtime, but not entirely the way we wanted it to go. I think we hold ourselves to a higher standard when it comes to that, especially when we go to showcases, and we just let a couple slip away. And I think the first game, we got hit pretty hard with that long travel there, and then Boston came out ready to play and caught us all a little off guard. So kudos to them, though. They played well, they stuck to their game plan, and they kept coming at us, and that's a good team up there. And
you did get 2 shutouts though in your 2 wins. You had to be happy about that.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's always good when you can put a goose egg up on the board, and as far as the defensive side of the game, and I'm very proud of our goaltending in that aspect, but still it's a little bittersweet when you can't come out of there with 4 wins.
All right, we're talking to Trevor Jewell, head coach of the Charlotte Rush Elite, on this video midweek report on this Thursday, January the 20th, make that January the 17th. And Trevor got a couple of new players that have been donning the Rush uniforms, Luke Dobbles and Dominic Magrino. Talk about them and what they bring to the table.
Yeah, I mean, Luke, he's a kid I coached in some showcases this summer. He's a great kid, another New Yorker, and brings in a tremendous work ethic with him. Very, very physical player. Moves the puck well, skates fairly well, and has a great shot. So, he's just another kid that he trusted us and trusted in the process. He was with New Hampshire previously, and I give kudos to Nick Cota and working with us and trying to get him here. And but he's a great kid. He brings a lot to the table, and I think he really helps us out on the back end. And then Dom, he's a kid I coached down in Florida when I was there in my short time, but with the issues down there, he went back and played U18 for a little while, and we stayed in touch, and then I realized that we were a little short on D on the elite side of things, and he was still looking to play competitively, and he knew he wanted to be in a structure and a very good environment, and I thought this was the best place for him. And he would have been here earlier, but he had to finish up some school back home. And we're very happy to have him. He brings size, a decent shot, and some physicality with him too. He's a fairly good skater for a guy his size, and he supplements our back end very well. And I think as far as personality-wise, he fits in as a leader in the locker room and brings a great personality and work ethic with him too, on and off the ice. So we're happy to have him as well.
All right, so a couple of new Rush players. You can look for them in about 10 days when the Rush does return home. We'll talk about that a little bit later in our video. Also, tough break for Charles Brindell, his second year with the Rush. His shoulder had been bothering him. He was trying to play through it, but finally it just gave out. He'll be having surgery and lost for the year, so we will certainly wish Charles Brindell good success in his surgery and also in his rehab. Well, last weekend, Trevor, you went to Richmond. Always a tough battle there with the Generals. And on the elite side, you edged out a nice win in that first game, 5-4. And Philip Shimyakin, who's been up and down between Premier and Elite, got a couple of goals and 1 assist for you, and a nice 3-point game for him.
Yeah, I thought he played well. I mean, we had a lead, but let it slip away late in the game, and that's what happens when you take penalties and you don't kill them off either. So, a little unhappy with the way we finished the game. I thought we played well for the most part, but we haven't put a full 60 minutes together since I've been here. So that's a little bit more of my concern than anything. But yeah, it was a good win on Saturday, and I thought it brought us together a little bit more. But at the same time, we can't allow teams to climb back in games like that.
Second game, the Rush defeated 5-2. They got goals from Julian Miranda and the newcomer, Dominic Magrino. But, Trevor, the big story, what happened at the end of the game? Boy, that was a physical game. There were over 200 penalty minutes issued combined for both teams. That was a rough one.
Yeah, I mean, you know, we started a little bit slow, and you know, we let the first goal go, and that's it's never easy when you get scored on first. You know, you always want to be the team to score first, but you know, as the game got worse, we didn't kill penalties, we didn't do the things we needed to do, and it was unfortunate that you know, that we lost that game. But you know, as far as the penalties, I mean, it's Richmond. You know, every time we play them is something. It's like it's a circus. It's stupid. It's not hockey. It's embarrassing, and I hate going up there, and I hate playing against them because the games take 9 hours, and you know, they always talk to the coach or talk to the ref after every single whistle, and then you know, they send a kid over the bench to go jump one of our guys, which I think is completely cowardly, and it's just not. There's no place for that in our game anymore. And our guys, you know, kudos to them for sticking up for each other, but you know, there's no place for that in the game anymore, especially when you're up 5-2. I think it's stupid, it's dumb, it's selfish, and you know, unfortunately, that we have to deal with it because it's Richmond. They do it every game we play them, and you know, it's sad, you know, that the kids that play there have to play under that umbrella and listen to coaches that tell them to do things like that. And you know, I feel bad for our guys that got suspended because of that, and you know, it's an unfortunate circumstance. You never want to see kids get suspended because of what somebody else does, especially when you're playing for an organization like Richmond. And, you know, they pride themselves on playing dirty and doing stupid things after the whistle and drawing kids into dumb things. And I did my best to control our guys, and I thought they did a great job of that, you know, the entire game, especially being down when everyone's not happy and everyone wants to take a swing at a guy. And you know, at the end of the day, you're dealing with teenagers. The emotions are high at all times, and my guys did a good job controlling themselves. And then, unfortunately, Richmond, you know, decided to go and do something that didn't need to be done, and now, you know, my players have to deal with the repercussions of it. So it's unfortunate, but every time we play Richmond, it happens that way, and it's sad.
Trevor, is there any accountability from the league on this kind of behavior?
I mean, yeah, they came down hard on us. They came down hard on Richmond with their suspensions as well. But, you know, I feel like it wasn't completely warranted on our part just because we did what we could to manage the game and keep it in control. But, you know, Richmond took advantage of that, and then, you know, it's unfortunate. So I don't think it's the league's fault. I think it's an organizational issue, and I think they need to handle that as far as Richmond and the way they do things and the way they operate. Because if you look at all the other game sheets and the games they played against other teams too, I mean, there just seems to be one common denominator, and it's always Richmond. And unfortunately, and I'm sure a lot of the other coaches in our division would agree.
Well, disappointed to hear, that's for sure. Well, the Rush on the road this coming weekend, Trevor, at Hampton Roads. Again, 7 points behind. The Rush in second place, Hampton Roads in first. So this will be a last chance to get a couple of wins and cut that lead of the Whalers down and maybe get a chance to sneak into first place.
Yeah, I mean, we'll do what we can and take care of that. But, you know, obviously we're going to be playing a little shorthanded on Saturday, and it'll be difficult. It'll be a battle for our guys, and I just hope they're ready to play, and we're going to do everything. We've had a good week so far, and we're going to do everything in our power to make sure they're prepared and have everything and all the tools they need to be successful this weekend.
Trevor, thanks so much for the updates. Much appreciated.
Not a problem. Thanks, Tim.
All right, Trevor Jewell, head coach of the Charlotte Rush Elite. The Rush in Hampton Roads this weekend. You can follow all the action on Hockey TV. And then don't forget, the Rush will come back for the next set of home games, January 26th to Saturday, Sunday the 27th. The Rush will be hosting the Atlanta Junior Kings. Our first home games in almost 2 months. The last time we had a home game here, Sunday, November the 18th. So we're going to be looking forward to getting back home. Hope you'll come out for the Rush on the weekend after this one, January 26th and 27th, when Charlotte will host the Atlanta Junior Kings. Thanks to Matt Deeren, our cameraman from the Carolina School of Broadcasting, for running our camera. Don't forget, go to our Rush social media platforms, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, our YouTube channel, and of course, the Charlotte Rush website for complete information on the Charlotte Rush. Well, again, I'm Tim Donnelly, play-by-play voice of the Charlotte Rush. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you.